Everyone, hopefully now everyone can see and hear me. Can I just get a quick confirmation? Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to the first day of the World Green Building Council Middle East and Africa Green Building Congress. This is the third year that we are running our Middle East Green Building Congress, but it's actually the first year where we are expanding the Congress to include the whole of Africa as well as the Middle East. So we hope that you really enjoy this additional perspective within our program today. My name is Dominika Czerwinska. I'm the Director of Engagement and Networks at WorldGBC, and I'm going to be your host for the next 2 days. So our agenda for today is all about net zero and net positive buildings, including embodied carbon and the retrofitting of existing buildings. While tomorrow, we are going to be covering sustainable cities and health and well-being. Now, in case you are not familiar with this virtual conference platform, Hopin, that we are going to be using today and tomorrow, this is just a reminder that after each session finishes, you will need to click on the sessions icon just to the left of the screen and choose the next session that you want to attend that is open and live. If you would like to hear if you like what you hear in any of the sessions that are coming up over the course of the next 2 days, please feel free to post on social media using hashtag MEA Green Buildings 2021. So in this session now that we are in, we will hear the opening remarks as well as a visionary keynote on the future of sustainable building. So now to kick us off, I am going to hand over to Mohammad Asfour, our regional head for the MENA and Africa regional networks for the opening remarks. So welcome, Mohammad, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Dom, for the introduction. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Middle East and Africa Green Building Congress 2021. I am Mohammad Asfour, head of the MENA and Africa regions at the World Green Building Council. The World Green Building Council is a global action network catalyzing the uptake of sustainable buildings for everyone, everywhere. Our network is made up of around 70 green building councils from across the world and their 36,000 members. Collectively, we are transforming the building and construction sector across 3 strategic areas: climate action, health and well-being, and resources and circularity. As a member of the UN Global Compact, we work with businesses, organizations, and governments to drive the ambitions of the Paris Agreement and UN global goals for sustainable development. Through a systems change approach, our network is leading the industry towards a net zero, carbon, healthy, equitable, and resilient built environment. Under the patronage of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya and high-level representative of the Africa Union, and in partnership with our generous sponsor Majid Al-Futtaim, we welcome you to our 3rd MENA Green Building Congress and our first Congress for the Middle East and Africa collectively. We are here today to discuss solutions to the biggest challenge of our time, climate change. We know that 4 billion people are vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. We also know that the built environment accounts for almost 40% of global CO2 emissions. The question I have for you today is, how do we create net zero, equitable, and resilient buildings without leaving anyone behind? Both the Middle East and Africa regions are experiencing rapidly expanding populations and high levels of urbanization. In 2019, The MENA region population stood at around 457 million people and 1.1 billion people in sub-Saharan Africa. As the building and construction industry adapts with the patterns of population growth and migration, it is extremely important that the Middle East and Africa align their building practices with sustainable growth. Over the next 2 days, we will discuss how we can collectively respond to the climate and social challenges facing the Middle East and Africa regions. Our speakers from government, business, city, and civil society will examine regional case studies, learnings, and opportunities on the 3 key themes: city regeneration and reconstruction, net zero transitions, health and well-being in the built environment. We will uncover how our sector can accelerate the potential of the Middle East and Africa into achieving a healthier, equitable, and resilient built environment. WorldGBC is humbled to bring together leading voices from our movement as we learn, innovate, and activate sustainable buildings. And without further ado, I would like to hand the mic back to my colleague, Dominika.
Thank you so much, Mohammad, for your very powerful opening remarks. WorldGBC is such an incredible global network, and personally, it has been an honor and a privilege to be part of this movement for many years now. Now, as I mentioned earlier, today's speakers and panelists will be discussing the topic of net zero and net positive buildings. And to help set the scene for this ambition, we will hear a visionary keynote from Ibrahim Al-Zubi, Chief Sustainability Officer at Majid Al Futtaim Holdings, who are also the sponsor of our 2021 Congress. In his current role, Ibrahim oversees the group-wide sustainability strategy of Majid Al Futtaim and is currently a vice chair of the Corporate Advisory Board of the World Green Building Council. Ibrahim is a member of the World Forum's Global Future Council on Net Zero Transition and the WEF's Circular Economy Council. Ibrahim is also the author of the book, How to Net Positive. He is the Senior Associate at Cambridge Institute for Sustainability Leadership and the Vice Chair of the UN Global Compact UAE Network. Ibrahim, thank you so much for being with us here today. The floor is all yours.
Good afternoon, colleagues, friends, and fellow delegates. I wish you, your families, and loved ones are safe and healthy. The past year has been a very exceptional time for all of us, full of unique challenges and uncertainty. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed and compounded deep underlying problems with public crisis management systems and exposed the world's inequalities. But a moment as challenging as this one also holds promise and opportunities. We saw an acceleration in business consciousness, a trend that was underway even before the pandemic. More than ever before, companies are re-evaluating their organization's sense of purpose and feeling the need to address social issues as well as environmental. The shift from shareholder capitalism to stakeholder capitalism is well underway. The pandemic has also highlighted environmental awareness and compelled businesses to prioritize environmental resiliency as a core area for future economic recovery. At the onset of the pandemic, many feared that the sustainability agenda would be placed on the back burner as the world battled with an immediate threat to public health. However, the reverse has happened. Sustainability has risen on the agenda of business leaders across the world. Over the past 2 years, several global developments cemented the importance of climate action as a global priority. Events such as the fires in Australia in late 2019 and early 2020, and floods in the American Midwest, among other climate-related disasters, have led to more scrutiny on government policies towards climate change. This scrutiny generated impact in the form of collaborative international response for climate action, such as the declaration of climate emergency by 25 countries in January 2020, followed by new policies regarding climate action and reduction of greenhouse gases. To date, almost 300 global companies have made net zero pledge across the world in the run-up for 2050. Although the pledges are not enough, we need more, but it's a good start. Sustainability has gone from being a matter of corporate philanthropy and an additional cost for companies to a core boardroom issue. Companies are increasingly integrating ESG, environmental, social, and governance guidelines into their core strategies and business objectives. Instead of viewing it as a cost, businesses now understand that their abilities to improve their bottom line is closely tied to sustainability and to the way to respond to the climate crisis. And that, I believe, it's a great start and a great discussion between the public and private sector. As a result, new approaches such as net zero, net positive, to combine profitability and sustainability as joint goals are being adopted by businesses around the world. In this regard, environmental initiatives, particularly those that build more sustainable supply chains, improve fuel efficiency, and recycle byproducts and waste are being prioritized. Businesses are also increasingly viewing ESG from the perspective of corporate investment opportunities and access to capital. Over the last few years, green, social, and sustainable bonds, for example, have been growing exponentially. In 2020, bond issuers and across the world remained resilient despite market volatility from COVID-19. In fact, green bond market reached a new record as Q3 2020 last year. Issuance peaked to more than $64 billion. This is the highest volume in any third quarter period since market inception, and the second highest recorded amount in any individual quarter. Supporting this growth, of course, is the number of specialized and specialist innovation hubs, incubators, and accelerator programs dedicated to clean tech, agri-tech, and water tech. Leveraging digital technologies such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, IoT, blockchain, robotics, and additive manufacturing as a key enabler, green startups are creating innovative, environment-friendly products. Green startups now are re-engineering traditional agricultural and manufacturing processes to reduce carbon emissions, developing novel sources of renewable energy, recycling water in innovative ways, as well as building ways to increase the production and the uptake of electric vehicles. In light of this renewed focus on sustainability and rapidly growing clean tech startups ecosystem, the future is for sure hopeful and green. While some are skeptical of these developments and consider them too little and too late, maybe, there is something to be said about the authenticity and genuine desire for a greener future that is fueling these startups. Since there is no planet B, of course, innovation is our only hope for a greener and cleaner future. And the numbers prove that, of course. IRENA, the International Renewable Energy Agency, estimates that global renewable capacity has grown between 2014 and 2020 by 50%. Euromonitor estimates that UK sales of meat substitutes have grown by 85%. Bloomberg noted that global electric cars has grown by electric car stocks has grown by 900%, and that global sustainable debt issuance has grown by 1,000%. With all that in mind, we at the built environment sector have a clear vision and goal to achieve and reduce our building carbon footprint between now and 2050 in order to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees. And to achieve that goal, in my opinion, we need to focus at 4 different pillars. 1, refocusing sustainable financing post-COVID-19. The pandemic has shifted the nation's focus to acute social risks such as health and employment. There is no doubt that economic recovery is a priority for all nations, with sustainability and building resilience at its core. It's crucial to keep in mind that the comeback from COVID-19 will take years. The same years that are crucial to ensuring we meet our SDGs and climate change targets as well, and preventing an irreversible catastrophe. 2, quest for data. Sustainable investments require data based on ESG metrics, among other metrics. However, companies lack adequate and useful data to quantify and measure the impact of their investment, leading to potential inefficiencies. 3, circular economy and shifting to circularity is a key to preserving our resources. 4, leveraging various innovations and technologies and clean tech. Meeting the challenges and pursuing the opportunities require businesses to make drastic and strategic shifts to reinvent products in the operations, while also building innovative partnership and fostering and improving the relationship among all different stakeholders to boost the odds of success. Before I end my note, I would like to thank the MENA and Africa Green Building, World Green Building Council team for their dedication, for their commitment, for their support, for their enthusiasm to make this Congress a reality, and to continuing also to be the sustainability guardian for the Middle East, and Africa. I would like to leave you all with one sentence that I think would be a headline for the coming 3 years. This sustainability revolution is unstoppable, and no company will be left unchanged. Those that act quickest will be those that end up leading. Thank you all, and I wish you a fruitful Congress and enjoy the rest of the day as well as tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibrahim, and to Majid Al-Futtaim for showcasing true corporate leadership and paving the way for others to follow in your footsteps. Now, we know that as a whole, we need to reach net zero targets for our sector by 2050, but we need companies who have the vision, who have the capabilities and the resources to get there faster to show our sector what is possible. And so we're really privileged and excited to be working with a company like Majid Al-Futtaim. Thank you, Ibrahim. Now, unfortunately, our patron, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, has come across some health issues and is not able to be here with us for the opening remarks. We hope that he gets better soon and thank him again for his patronage. In our next session, we will be focusing on the topic of retrofitting and how it can enhance the performance of existing buildings, reducing their carbon footprint in order to help them achieve net zero. So we will be inviting you all to join this session. It starts in just 15 minutes. Now, as a reminder, to be able to access that session, you have to click on the sessions link to the side of the screen, and then you will see the session there that you can choose and join. In the meantime, please, I would invite you to proceed to the stage where we have some World Green Building Council footage that is playing. And we do encourage you to watch some of those videos as we get ready for our next session in just 15 minutes. So thank you, everybody, and see you very shortly.